Welcome to NFL Weekly News. I'm your host, Darryl Jordan. This is my co-host,
Terrence Pryor.
All right, and today we're going to talk about a few surprises that happened in the NFL so far, starting with the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs and the 0-5 Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, who would have thought that the Kansas City Chiefs would be 5-0 right now? I mean, if you look at the schedule, I really don't think that they played anybody. Philly, who's probably like 1-3 right now. Um, the Colts, which is a good opponent, but not doing much. And everybody's raving about the seventh ranked defense, but hey, I don't think they had anybody to defend against.
So you feel as though you're taking credit away from their defense. They had one of the best defensive end talents.
Yeah, I'm taking credit away from them because if you're playing against less competition, of course your defense is going to look good. So yeah, maybe if they play some stiffer competition, it wouldn't be as seventh ranked or as good as everybody thinks.
All right, how do you feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers and their devastating season so far?
Man, you know what? I believe that the blame could go in a lot of different directions. First of all, it starts with the coach Mike Tomlin. He has instilled the Steeler culture, the Steeler Nation culture, the Steel Curtain, in which the Steelers are known for, and then you can take it to Ben Roethlisberger as well. He's not leading the team like he's supposed to be doing. But I really think that the core of the issue starts with that offensive line. If the offensive line isn't producing and protecting for Ben Roethlisberger, then how do they expect to win any game?
All right, so you blame the offensive line, the defense. How do you feel about Ben Roethlisberger overall? Do you think he washed up? And how do you feel about the defense? Do you think the defense is like old or something like that? Any type of problems with that type of area of the field?
Yeah, well, think about Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think he's washed up. I think he has a lot in his tank. I think he can keep going. He's a mobile quarterback. He's big. He's able to produce when he has protection. As far as the defense goes, I believe the defense is a little washed up. The defense is a little old. They got rid of one of their key players, James Harrison, who's now playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I don't care what anyone says, that affects your team. That affects your defense. So yeah, it's a lot of work that the defense has to do. They have to restock. This new draft probably, restock, get newer linebackers, and younger defensive line.
Well, that's a big surprise, but this surprise is even more bigger than that. How you feel about Julio Jones in his absence with his injury?
Oh man, Julio Jones, what a shot the Atlanta Falcons took. 1-3, played a hard game, going to the final seconds with the New York Jets, and to lose the game and find out that you lost your star player too.
So, do you think Tony Gonzalez and Rodney Wright will pick up the slack from being absent, from being Julio Jones being absent?
Tony Gonzalez, maybe. Roddy White, I haven't seen him produce much, but Tony Gonzalez, this is a guy that's been in the league for 17 years, and you see us producing like he's a NFL rookie. So, hey, yeah, he might be able to pick up the slack, but that's a major shot to take.
Okay, how do you feel about Arden Smith and his off the field issues?
Well, I feel like he's a player, but he's young, and young players of course are going to make mistakes. And hey, this isn't the first time that an NFL player had DUI problems or anything like that, so he'll bounce back.
Okay, let's talk. Let's transition into let's talk about one of the best teams in the NFL, the New Orleans Saints.
Well,
How do you feel about those people? They have one of the best defense. Well, they had one of the worst defense last season. Now they're in the top 10 and one of the best defense in the league. And also, Drew Brees having a magnificent year. So what are your expectations for them for the rest of the season? Do you think they'll go undefeated?
I don't necessarily think they're going undefeated, but I do believe that the Saints are a good team, and I don't think they were a bad team last year. This year they just had their head coach back.
So you don't think they're going to the Super Bowl?
There's a chance they're going to the Super Bowl, but hey, they got a lot of competition.
But I think they're going to the Super Bowl. He's been in denial right now, so but we're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that topic. But how do you feel about the Patriots going against the Saints defense? Do you think Tom Brady will have a field day against that defense?
Well, I don't think he'll necessarily have a field day, but hey, whenever you got Tom Brady on your team, you have a chance. And hey, that's my guy. I love Tom Brady.
But he don't have any type of weapons.
He don't have any type of weapons, but this isn't the first time that Tom Brady's been in that situation. And if I'm not mistaken, he made it to the AFC Championship that year. So hey, Tom Brady, New England Patriots.
All right, quickly, let's talk about your Super Bowl expectations. Who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl?
Well, honestly, I think from the NFC you might have the New Orleans Saints.
Right.
I hate to admit it, but you might have New Orleans Saints. They're just
I agree with that.
And I also hate to admit that you might have the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
Really not
So you don't think that the Kansas City Chiefs would surprise everybody and make it to the Super Bowl?
I don't. I believe they make it to the playoffs and might even go deep into the playoffs. But as far as making it to the Super Bowl, they have really stiff competition with Peyton Manning in Denver.
Okay, well, this is NFL Weekly and coming from you live. Well, I messed up. We're going to see y'all next week. Tune in next week. I'm your host, Daryl Jordan.
Terrence Pryor.
Yo.